Minister fails to recall states benefiting from $500 million World Bank project. Here is the conversation we are diving into. But then, very quickly, let's look at the highlights of the story. The Minister of Women Affairs, Kennedy Ohane, was a guest on Arise TV on Monday, where she accused the past administration of mismanaging the first tranche of the loan. And according to her, that there is actually an initiative tagged the Nigeria for Women project. It is a project that is in relations with the Nigerian government and the World Bank, where they are giving loan on how to improve the livelihood of the nation's women, of the Nigerian women. And this is a loan of about $500 million. According to her, she said that 6 states in Nigeria will be benefiting from the loan. Then she was asked the question as to the state that will be benefiting from this loan. But then, don't let me narrate this part for you. Very quickly, let's have the video on display. Then we dive into the conversation.
I want you to identify those 6 states that we referred to in the introduction. Those 6 states where you have the pilot programs. If you could just list them so that we can move on.
The 6 states are yes, I will mention the few because I don't really know all of it. Niger.
You don't know the 6 states where you're having the program?
I don't know all of. No, listen to me, my dear brother, please. The 6 states now is not the issue to me. The issue to me is all the states. That is what I'm focusing on. I can't go and start focusing on the 6 states when the money coming can go around all the states, including FCT.
Okay, my dear brother, let's dive into this conversation because this is a beautiful conversation we have here. So, my dear brother, what do you have to say to what our dear sister has done right now?
You see, what we are witnessing or what we just witnessed is a true description of when you copy somebody in an exam hall and you are asked to explain. Just imagine you copied somebody in mathematics exam and you're asked to show your workings. My brother will enter that conversation.
Exactly.
All right, so that is what we just played out. You cannot explain what you are not really doing. All right, you can't tell me you have a plan before now that there is a plan for the state, there is a plan for the budget, and you cannot recall just 6 states. We have 36 states. Can this, my sister, can she be able to recite the 36 states and capital? Right? If you cannot really recall just 6 states that are to benefit from a project of something you are handling, it is a big slap, and that has further show how unready to serve those who have in the position of leadership are. All right, because you if she's working, if she's someone whose mind is set to serve and to utilize the budgeted amount for the state. Of course, before that interview, she should be able to even explain how much we go for each state. Now, she can't even mention the state. How then can she be able to tell us how much have been budgeted or how much we go to each state? Yeah. So it shows that our people there are not really there for us, honestly speaking. And now, these same people, we come out to blame the other people to place their own failure on the past administration. So it is a big slap. It's a big shame. It's a big shame that a person of our caliber would not be able to mention just 6 states. And you said it's not your problem. Then what is your problem? If you say the states are not your problem,
our problem is all the states.
That's so you can't mention 6. How can you be able to shoulder the problem of all the states? So it's actually, and that is oftentimes we see when these people come out for press interview, and that is why you see they hardly come out for press interview. They always fuck up. They always mess up because their mind. You can't defend what you are not doing. Just like I cited before that. You copy somebody, you cannot explain how you get there. That is the problem we are facing.
You know, some of the things that came to mind when I saw the video was that two things came into mind. To me, I first of all thought that it is natural for people to forget things. But then, for an ordinary person,
Sure.
if you forget things, people will understand with you.
Sure.
Understand you. They will know that, oh, it is normal. But for somebody of a caliber, forgetting such information that you should even have at
within
your
the
finger.
cycle of our service, of our office.
You should have access to that information. Such a person cannot tell us that she forgot those things. What that is playing out, personally to me, is that it is showing the nonchalancy that is happening in all our sectors. You see, it shows that she is handling a project that she cannot defend. It shows that she is handling a project that she is not prepared for. At the same time, it also states another thing, because she is emphasizing on the money. What matters to me is that the money will go around to all the states.
Of course, $500
so the most
million.
important thing is the money to her, not the people that will benefit from the money. And it is bringing me to ask the question on if the people that will benefit from this money will, at the end of the day, benefit from the money. Because according to her, the most important thing is that the money will go around. So you see that
when they share the money,
exactly,
it will go around.
It will go around
even
to
the
all
FCT.
the states. Exactly. Even the FCT will benefit from it. So we are saying that with the way that she has handled that interview, no, these people are only interested in the money. And when the figure comes, when the money gets to them, obviously, I'm not sure these states that she later outlined are going to benefit anything from this budget. And it is also leading me to say that I am highly disappointed in Mrs. Kennedy Ohaneye, because there's a level of sympathy that people expect from women. They feel like when women are in a position,
as mothers,
they can see what men cannot see. They are empathetic. They can be empathetic with the people. And with this that she has just done, she has fallen the hand of all Nigerians. And what is coming to mind is just the case of Betta Edu, that if a woman cannot undo this position properly,
that has to do with the people.
How well can you undo other things that is in your care? It is this same woman who came out when they wanted to do one mass wedding like that in Niger State, and she was saying, no, we have to empower these people. We are yet to hear about that empowerment, and I hope that this money that they are allocating to these women in all the states that she mentioned will also reach out to those people in Niger State. I'm not sure even the Niger States that she was fighting for then is also a part of the conversation here. But then I would like to hear your final take on this story so we can move on to another conversation like it in Nigeria.
Just like you said, when if a woman who is expected to feel the pain, as a mother figure, to feel the pain, sometimes the fathers are busy with many activities, and as a mother, you are expected at least to understand what the children are going through. As a mother in the political office, she's expected to understand that Nigerians are suffering at the moment. All right, and it happens that there is no plan. And people of our kind in office is the reason why they cry for hunger, is not getting, or is not is not receiving any action. All right, when we have people who their concern is the money will go around. All right, let's buy more cars. Let's get more allowances. All right, that is their concern, their priority.
Yeah.
Let's elongate our stay in office. Of course, all these things are things that have been playing out under this administration. Things that has nothing to do with the benefits of the people who have been crying, people who have been sucked, that have been compressed, according to the president who said no collection of more tax. All right, so if women as mothers who are supposed to shoulder the pain of the children of the people are not there with the mindset to serve the people, it is a problem. Then it will not lead me to ask, when are we going to come out of this bondage we call government? Because to me, the democracy that ought to be the government for the people is no longer for the people. The people are no longer benefiting from the government. Now look at the outbreak of cholera in Nigeria. There are so many things that the government are supposed to take care of. We don't have pipe-borne water in Nigeria. That system is not functioning. There are so many things that the government should be providing for the people, and these things receive allocation from the federal level. Now, the state level are not enhancing these things, are not utilizing these things properly well. So, if we have people with this kind of mind who cannot even, confidently state the people that are going to benefit from a scheme that have been handed over to their care, it is a problem. It means that at the end, people will end up not benefiting from that system. And I want to say that when the federal government make a release of any system that is for the masses, let's have a video of people who benefit from that system, not audio figures. Let people testify. Let them go to the street and ensure. I always recall to the system of the former governor of Lagos State, person of Mr. Ambode. When he issues a project, he supervises it himself to ensure that this thing is done. So apart from releasing $500 million is huge. The federal government should ensure that it goes to where it has been sent to, so that the masses will benefit from it. That is my final note.
All right. Another conversation like it is that the organized labor has pleaded with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to prove his love for Nigerian workers and approve its demand of 250,000 naira minimum wage to reflect the present inflationary trend in the country. So a member of the organized labor said they are still negotiating. They are still having a conversation with the tripartite committee of the new national minimum wage, and they are pleading, according to them, with the tripartite committee that it's been 5 years since the minimum wage was last reviewed. And according to them, they said they should conclude on a reasonable wage for public workers. And this reasonable wage, according to the organized labor, is still 250,000 naira. Now, the federal government hasn't reacted to this. No one has reacted to this. This is just some members of the organized labor coming out to plead with Mr. President. And as you all know, we have had back and forth on this issue of minimum wage for since January this year and up until now. And the conclusion of the federal government on this is 62,000 naira. And it is not even sure that the federal government is going to give these people audience any longer. Now, according to this member of organized labor, he is saying that Mr. President should prove his love for Nigerian workers and approve their demand of 250,000 naira. Now, in your own definition, what would have been your own proof of love from Mr. President to the Nigerian worker from these people's perspective?
All right. Let me answer by saying it was sent out of school as a result of non-payment of school fees. And that child has to stay at home for a series of meetings, the father meeting with the family member, meeting with the mother for over a month. And that father claims to love that child. How long does it take to prove love? How long does it take to take action over a matter that requires urgency? All right, we've seen our leaders, swing into action over matter that has to do with them. All right. So to me, in as much as the organized labor failed when they had the chance to do things that would have propelled the presidency to act. Now they are pleading, and this thing is not supposed to, because what they are requesting for is something that is very clear, based on the economy, the current economy of the country. So I of course, the presidency should just like they've said, prove the fact that he has a renewed hope agenda for Nigerian citizens, because you can't talk about renewed hope when the people you are under your payroll as government cannot feed well. Somebody begging for transportation to go to work and is a federal government worker is a shame. All right. So back then, people used to see people that work with the government as rich people, but not now. Not now. So it will really be fine if the government can hearken to the voice of the NLC and do something. 62,000 is a slavery wage, not a living wage, not even a minimum a wage at all. All right, because it cannot guarantee transportation. Talk more of feeding a family that is more than one person.
But then I would like us to speak on even the 62,000 naira they want to pay to even the 62,000 naira they want to pay to Nigerian workers now. Let's look at how reasonable this is, because we have state governors who say that they cannot afford the 30,000 naira before. Now it has been taken up to 62,000 naira. Yes, we understand that Obaseki is now paying 70,000 naira. But then, how visible it is. Now let's even keep what NLC organized labor are saying aside, because obviously Mr. President is not listening to them. Because if he had wanted to show love to them, he would have shown love to them when they were having that strike.
Sure.
So let's forget about love. The organized labor should understand by now that when it comes to love from Mr. President to organized labor, or to the organized labor and even to the people, it is not feasible. So they should forget about that. But let's look at the visibility of the state government paying this 62,000 naira. If a state that cannot pay 30,000 naira before is now being mandated to pay 62,000 naira, what is the guarantee that the workers in those states will be able to survive?
It is an act of wickedness for any state governor to say that they cannot afford. They are not paying the people from their individual pockets. To me, I feel that this thing the blame can be channeled to the presidency, because if the presidency want to do something, it will be passed into law. It will be passed into law. No state in Nigeria that does not have resources that can take care of the people. So these people, this money is not as if we know we are Nigerians. We know what we have in Nigeria. We know that we have resources that can pay this money, right? So no governor can come out. Are they not living luxurious life? All the governors that are saying that they cannot pay, they all live luxurious life, going on convoys, fueling different cars that they will end up being in one. All right, all these luxuries can be cut down. All this nonchalant, all this frivolous lifestyle can be cut down. All right. We have case of governor. One of the governors that mentioned this is a governor that had to spend hundreds of billions or millions to renovate an office in another state. So to me, I feel that if the presidency should act, it will be passed into law. They will have no option than to pay it. So there's nothing like Nigeria is blessed. Go to Ondo State. Ondo State is blessed with cocoa. Go to any state. There is almost every state in Nigeria is blessed with one mineral resources or the other. So there is nothing like they can't pay it, because it's not coming from their pocket. Nigeria is rich enough to take care of their. How many are we in Nigeria? Somebody is looting 80 billion. Somebody is looting 430 something billion. If this money, they are not looting this money from outside country. This money is in Nigeria. You can't steal what you are not seeing. I keep on saying it. Our politicians cannot steal what is not available. So if we don't have money in Nigeria, it is because this money were abandoned, refused to be used for its purpose. That is why they have the opportunity to steal them. So to me, I say that the money and whatever NLC is requesting for, we are oil producing country. Why is China coming to Nigeria? Because we have oil. China is coming to exploit Nigeria indirectly. So there is nothing like it's not possible. It's very much possible. We know how rich we are in Nigeria. We know what we have in Nigeria. It can take care of Nigeria workers.
Exactly. That is actually the standpoint of the organized labor, that they know that the Nigerian government can pay this money.
Sure.
They know that these governors can pay this money. Me, I'm always eating on the internally generated revenue. We have sources that is bringing in money.
Sure.
Lagos State alone, there is toll gates bringing the money. There are people paying taxes. So many, the seaports, all of those money, they are coming in and they can channel it into paying the workers. And I'm just going to dwell on the fact that this administration and every other person that is a partaker of this administration they don't have empathy for their workers.
Not at all.
They don't have empathy. And one of the many things that can make any organization to grow is those soft skills that they don't pay attention to. Now, if they had come out, I'm still coming back to NLC because I'm going to fault them a little. If they had come out to say that, see, this is what we can afford. The reason why we cannot afford this is because we want to channel this energy on this project that we are doing currently. And as soon as we are done with this project, this is what you all stand to benefit from this project. You see, one of the beauty of conversation is that there's a way you can phrase, you say your mind, and how you say your mind matters. But the Nigerian government has not come out. Even these greedy governors, they have not come out to say their mind in an empathetic way. They cannot be. You are just saying we cannot afford it, and people can see that this is affordable. You are spending on this. You are spending on that. There was a time recently. There was an interview that one of our senators did on Channels Television, and he was giving justification as to why for their frivolous lifestyles. So you see, they come out and say they can't afford this thing. But Nigerians can see that these are the frivolities that you are spending money on. So even as you are spending money on that frivolities, if they had come out to explain that this is why we cannot afford to pay this money, but on the long run, we have allowances that we will be giving to you. Your health is covered. You have insurance covering you. You have this covering you. These are extra money that you'll be going home with. At the end of the year, you have access to these things. The Nigerian workers would have been reasonable at, to reason with the government that, okay, let's manage with them, pending the time that they achieve this economic whatever that they want to achieve. At the same time, you see now, the tone in which NLC is now coming out now. NLC is now coming out like a dog that is begging for bone. That's the tone at which NLC is coming out now, because they're saying the Mr. President should be empathetic, should show love to Nigerian workers. They are begging. But at a time when they were using force, that they could have gotten what they wanted, they could have arrived at a sensible amount of money. They will come to agree on a sensible point. They didn't do that. Now, NLC has relegated themselves to the floor. They have relegated themselves to the position of a beggar. I'm not sure that Mr. President that they are pleading with to show love to Nigeria worker is going to show.
With this look in his eyes, I don't think he can even show love.
This is an old picture.
When you look at the eyes of the presidency,
don't ridicule.
No. Sometimes you see our presidency, some of his picture, his postures, something like this. I will show you Shege. These are the things we are witnessing in the country now. There's nothing like if these people a situation that warranted shutting down the national grid. Nothing was done. Is it now? But there's this saying that sometimes you take it by force. They couldn't take it by force.
Yeah.
And before they went on the strike,
they want to take it by begging.
It's not possible. Before they went on they went on that break. They 1 day break. Few hours break. Safe. Before they went on that break. They've been clamor for 2-week ultimatum, 1 month ultimatum, and nothing was done until they had to go on break. The break was the strike was cancelled. Nothing was done, and you are saying empathy. Where you see empathy for Nigeria? There is no empathy. This government
empathy is not the name of anybody in this country.
A country that has over 10 aircraft and they want to buy 2 more in a time where they feel that there is no money in the country. There is no empathy. They are out there to serve themselves, right? So I just like you say, with all indication, we know and we can say that NLC should get ready to bear their 62K, right? 60,000 plus urgent 2K, right? I believe that is what, and to the people that are saying they cannot, these people, you are not paying the Nigerian workers from your personal pockets. So just like the other time the presidency say that is what he can afford to pay. You are not paying Nigerian workers from your pocket. Nigeria is blessed. So
and the fact remains that these people are even working for the money.
Yes, they are not ghost workers.
They are working for the money.
All right, so these people are the people that no allowance, no hardship allowance like the senators get, no suffering allowance, debt allowance. These people don't collect newspaper allowance. All right, so there is no reason why they shouldn't be able to. The amount they are clamoring for is reasonable. This country can afford, as an oil producing country, we can afford to pay this money. So that is my final note on this.
All right, this is all that we can take on the segment of the newspaper review for today. We'll be going on a quick break now. As soon as we get back, we'll dive into another conversation.